366 AD, 4260 AM. The Goth-Roman War began, which would end in 369 with a peace settlement. This year was 1776 years after the Israelites conquered Lower Syria in 1411 BC, and it was 1296 years of the divided kingdom since 931 BC. Pope Damasus I of Rome murdered his rivals, and he established the untrue doctrine that the Church of Rome was the authoritative successors of the holy apostles of Jesus. He also created the doctrine of papal endorsement, meaning that a belief could not be accepted as true unless endorsed by the Pope. His secretary was the famous scholar Jerome, who he advised to revise the Holy Scriptures, the papacy introducing subtle alterations that would justify its positions. 1. End of Empire. 2. The Jesus Papers. 367 AD, 4261 AM. Athanasius provides us the first list of New Testament books as we have them today. This amazing date is linked perfectly with the calendrical signature of Israel. The people of Israel, obeying the word of God in 2488 AM, 1407 BC, followed Joshua in the conquest of Canaan and became a nation, inheriting lands promised to them in the Abrahamic covenant. 2488 is 1244 plus 1244, and this year of 367 AD is exactly 1244 years to the publication of the Holy Bible in English, in the Authorized King James Version in 1611 AD. The ancient Israelites were told by the prophets that they would in the future receive the word of the Lord in an unknown tongue. 1. A Quest for Answers. 368 AD, 4262 AM. In the 11th year of the passing of the Romanid Apocalypse comet group, a comet appeared in the sky, shining brighter than the sun, according to the report of Kyrillus. A Christian bishop, a Goth named Ulfilas, ministered to the Visigoths and translated the Gospels into their language, essentially creating for them a Gothic vernacular in doing so. While living in Dacia along the Black Sea coast, the kingdom of the Visigoths were converted to Christianity. Ulfilas died in 382. This was the year 1080 since Jerusalem was delivered from the Assyrians in 713 BC, and the dark satellite passes by Earth too closely, and the solar year became altered from 360 days to 365.25. 1. 3 Books of Occult Philosophy. 369 AD, 4263 AM. The Goth-Roman War ends with a peace settlement after Emperor Valens and the Gothic commander Athanaric met on a boat moored in the middle of the Danube River. 1. The End of Empire. 370 AD, 4264 AM. As the ancient Israelites had crossed the Jordan River into the land of promise in 1407 BC, exactly 1776 years earlier, now their Gothic descendants crossed the Danube River into Europe with the permission of the Roman Emperor led by their Christian leader Ulfilas, the bishop, whom the Goths considered their own personal Moses. They were among the first of the Germanic kin kingdoms to accept Christianity. The 1407 BC date is reflected isometrically in that counting 1407 years after 370 AD finds us in 1777 AD, within a year of the American Declaration of Independence from Britain. Further, the Goths were one of the 10 kingdoms that emerged in Europe after the fall of Rome in 476 AD, which is 1300 years before the founding of the United States of America in 1776 AD. And 1300 years before 370 AD was the year Israel broke away as 10 tribes from Judah in 931 BC. The calendrical isometric projections of 370 AD identify the Goths as the children of Israel. 1. Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, Volume 4. 372 AD, 4266 AM. The Huns from Asia began their excursion into Western Europe, pillaging, murdering, and raping. The kingdom of the Ostrogoths is defeated by the Huns, and they become a vassal state, their men conscripted into the Hunnic army. Those communities that resisted the Huns had their men executed, their children enslaved, and their women raped in a widespread insemination program. This was 296 years after the Huns invaded India, or 3552 months, 1776 plus 1776. 1. Saxons, Vikings and Celts. 375 AD, 4269 AM. The Huns migrated with their families in tow, living in covered wagons. Their origin is a mystery. They overwhelmed the Goths near the Black Sea. They left no written records, and all accounts of them are filtered through the prejudicial eyes of their Roman enemies. Though described as barbarians, they were expert administrators with a well-organised military. The Gothic leader Athanaric of the Tervingi went to aid the Goths in the north, who were being pushed back by the Huns. The Huns attacked his camp at night and scattered the Tervingi. Several comets seen in the sky, according to Marcellinus. Workers removing old walls at the historic city of CHRONICON for rebuilding material to be used for the baths of Constantinople, Byzantium, happened upon a square block of old masonry which had an earlier Greek inscription which was prophetic. Quote, "And what once a city wall shall serve, oh, what a mournful change to guard a bath! Then countless hordes of men from lands afar shall cross fair Ister's river, lance in hand, and lay all Scythia and Mysia waste. Next on Paeonia turn their mad career, to spread there likewise naught but death and strife." Unquote. This was deemed a prophecy of an invasion of foreign people into the realm, and at this exact time the Huns were invading northern Europe, and the fleeing Goths and other Germanic tribes migrated further west and south to escape them, the Huns capturing men, women and children as well as livestock. The Huns were unknown to the Romans, and their appearance on the world scene, coupled with the stories filtering in from the outer frontiers of wholesale slaughter, provoked dread and wonder throughout the empire. 1. The End of Empire. 2. Ammianus Marcellinus, Book 30.